Hi, my name is Camila, and I'm a PhD student at the University of Canterbury, New Zealand. Today, more precisely my hands, will be presenting my PhD project, which was accepted to the doctoral symposium. Thanks for joining me. The title of this presentation is Reusing Software Engineering Knowledge from Developer Communication. First, I would like to give you some context. Software developers use instant messaging tools to collaborate with others. Examples of instant messaging tools are Slack, Gitter, Discord, WeChat, and Telegram. You may be familiar with at least one or two of these names. You might have used them for working purposes or chatting with friends. In these tools, developers create public or private communities where they can, for example, share experiences, collaborate in projects, and discuss new technologies. With this, a large amount of knowledge is kept in instant messaging tools. However, it's hard to retrieve this knowledge for reuse. For example, Gabriel is a software developer working with an API. Suddenly, he finds a bug, something that we rarely encounter when we are programming. To solve this bug, Gabriel seeks help in a community's chat room. He inputs keywords related to that bug in the search mechanism, but he cannot find the information he needs. He scrolls the messages, but there are too many of them, and it's hard to keep up with the conversation. Therefore, he has to ask a question that someone else might have already answered and he was unable to find. You see, there's a gap between a potential source of relevant software engineering knowledge and the developers who would want to reuse it. My research goal is to diminish this gap by understanding and describing the knowledge within the conversation threads, proposing an automated technique to identify this knowledge, and proposing a way to summarize and present it for reuse. Before zooming in the research questions, I'll give you a definition of relevant and reusable software engineering knowledge. In our study, relevant knowledge refers to the information and experiences that developers need in their daily activities, such as code snippet, software architecture design decision, software requirements, bug solutions, experiences with technologies, and new ideas to solve issues. Reusable knowledge refers to the relevant knowledge that can be applied to different contexts and sometimes solving different problems. For example, a bug solution and a code snippet can come out from a professional developer during a project for their company and be reused by a computer science student working on their assignments. With that in mind, our first research question is, can relevant and reusable software engineering knowledge be found in developer communication? To answer this question, we are conducting a case study to identify and describe the knowledge within developers' instant messaging communication. Instant messaging tools have chat rooms where text-based conversations take place. Our cases are public chat rooms of Gitter, an instant messaging tool used primarily by developers. We are analyzing the themes, topics, and the structure of conversations of each of our cases. Themes refer to the main subject of a chat room, and they describe the entire conversation. We are identifying them through a thematic analysis of the chat room's name and description. Topics refers to the subjects discussed. To identify these topics, we are applying topic modeling for the chat room's messages. The structure of conversation refers to the types of questions asked and if they were answered. To identify questions and answers, we are considering the dialogue acting model. By analyzing these three parts of chat rooms, we aim at describing the knowledge within developers' instant messaging communication in the context of the cases selected. The contribution of our first question will be a taxonomy to characterize relevant knowledge from developer communication and its potential reusability. For now, we have more concrete results in relation to themes and topics. We applied thematic analysis, an interpretivist research approach that is commonly used in social science. This approach guided the manual analysis of the name and the description of 87 public Gitter chat rooms, considering the context in which themes appeared. For example, we got the theme software testing in two contexts, because some chat rooms were related to tools for testing and others to testing practice. We identified 49 software engineering themes, which were generalized into 4 higher themes: software development, professional development, software architecture, and software quality. We tested the transferability of themes by assigning them to 184 public Slack chat rooms. We could assign 32 themes to 162 Slack chat rooms, and for the other 22 chat rooms, we preliminarily identified 14 more themes. Our results indicate that instant messaging communication can be a useful source for knowledge related to software development technologies and practice, but not so much for insights on development processes. Regarding topics, we selected 65 out of our 87 public Gitter chat rooms to develop a technique for modeling topics in textual messages. To develop this technique, we have been conducting experiments using the messages of 3 chat rooms with different numbers of messages and 4 short text topic models. Before starting the experiments, we conduct a literature survey in empirical software engineering research that applied topic modeling. With this survey, we aimed at getting more information on what the field is using when it comes to topic models, parameter settings, data preprocessing steps, and approaches for topic naming. Our second research question is: how can we identify relevant and reusable software engineering knowledge in developer communication? Considering that the knowledge in developer communication is contained in unstructured textual data, we have to create a representation of this knowledge in order to automatically recognize it. Data mining and natural language processing will help us answer this question. We are analyzing textual messages from chat rooms of an instant messaging tool and preprocessing them to train a classifier, which can be based on an artificial neural network or a decision tree. This classifier will be able to identify whether conversations contains reusable knowledge, and if so, classify the messages into the concepts described by the taxonomy developed in our first question. Therefore, the contribution of our second research question will be a technique that classifies textual messages from instant messaging communication into a taxonomy. Our third research question is: how can we present reusable software engineering knowledge to developers? After identifying reusable software engineering knowledge in instant messaging communication, it needs to be presented to developers in a useful way. This means that rather than reading full conversations related to a topic of interest or spending time checking non-relevant results of the default search mechanism, developers could access the specific part of the conversation that is relevant to them. We are proposing a summarization, such as a semantic web search or knowledge panels, that we are going to validate through an action research, first with computer science students and then in an industrial setting. By iterating a validation cycle of this summary, we expect to deliver a solution with a positive impact on how developers interpret and use the software engineering knowledge from instant messaging. Thus, the contribution of our third research question will be a summarization technique to present reusable software engineering knowledge to developers. Finally, the outcomes of this research will help researchers and practitioners by characterizing the knowledge found in developer instant messaging communication and developing techniques for identifying and summarizing reusable knowledge from unstructured text. This was an overview of my PhD project. I hope you found it interesting. Please feel free to talk to me or check my paper in the proceedings. Thanks for watching. Bye!